My name is Brianna Wu. I'm head of development at Giant Space Cat, and right now the truth is, we're unable to tell people where we are. This is a terrible, frightening new development for our lives. I'm an indie game developer. I can no longer tweet where I am. I can't talk about it on Facebook. I can't go to a party and tell people I'm going to the party. So this is the new age of terror that we're living in.
I am Frank, Brianna's husband, and yeah, I agree. We're basically living in fear all the time,
Yeah.
and we go to science fiction conventions. We're making important connections and stuff like that. But it's hard to tell people in advance that we're going because now we're targets.
Yeah. The public doesn't know all the facts about what happened to us. I'm told very often that this isn't serious, you shouldn't worry about it. And what I can tell you very directly is the threats in my life are very serious. And we do take the threats that have been made against us very, very seriously. I mean, this was people telling us who, what, where, why, and when they were going to murder both of us.
It's like 36 death threats
Yeah.
over the last few weeks.
Yeah, they were going to kill me. They were going to, castrate my husband. They were going to murder any children that we might have. They were going to rape me anally. They were going to make me choke to death on parts of Frank's mutilated body. I get death and rape threats routinely, but this one crossed the line of feeling very credible. When I was a child in 1985 and I got my first video game system, the Nintendo Entertainment System, even from the beginning in 1985, there were all these messages in games saying, this is a space for men, games are for men, the player is assumed to be a dude. And it's been this deliberate choice that the video game industry's made from the beginning to kind of cater towards straight white men. And it's been that way for 30 years, so people now feel like it's the norm. So what you had in 2008, with the iPhone, when the iPhone kind of exploded on the scene, we were kind of, starting all over again with this. So what you've seen since the introduction of the iPhone is an explosion in women that are gamers. Nowadays, we are 47% of all video gamers. So it's very commensurate. It's very equal with male gamers and female gamers now. So what is happening now that it's more equally men and women? You have this tension. You have this anger that's been boiling under the surface for a long time because naturally, as more women are playing games, the culture of video games are changing. Women like myself are saying why are there so few creative directors at game companies? Women like me are saying, why are women in games always these sexualized damsels in distress?
The things that we're advocating for are sort of related to that. Okay, so there's more women playing games, so why can't we have more women making games? A few more women maybe in management or something. And maybe some female characters who aren't strippers or prostitutes. that might be nice.
Let's not get crazy, Frank. Let's not get crazy.
And I was like, most of these things are 99% of the people in the world are like, yeah, I never really thought about that but yeah, like some female characters that aren't prostitutes, yeah, that might be good. And then 1% of the people, they just go crazy.
The people that did this to me are these group of people that are very upset with the way games are changing. 2 years ago, they started terrorizing my friend Anita Sarkeesian when she started Feminist Frequency. They threatened to kill her. They threatened to rape her. They made video games beating her up. They went after my friend Samantha Allen in July. They actually bullied what I consider to be one of the best feminist writers in the entire industry until she ended up leaving. She would just write about feminist issues and the representation of women in the game industry in the funniest, most acerbic, just witty ways ever. And she was just a wonderful voice. And to see her bullied out of this field, I mean, you shouldn't have to choose between your safety and your career.
A woman posts something, uses the exact same words that a guy uses to say the same thing, and the guy is like, no response. Nobody really cares. But a woman saying anything, like good, bad, whatever, she gets tons of crap. Just masses of amounts of people like commenting about like how she's a terrible person and about like her sexual proclivities or whatever, and all these like awful things that are just kind of made up.
What happened to Zoe Quinn is the most sexist thing that's ever happened in the entire history of video games. She has her sex life unsubstantiated, just allegations about her sex life out for the entire public. She is harassed, she's threatened, people threaten to murder her, people threaten to rape her. They are threatening to like wear t-shirts, accusing her of sexual infidelity and like going to her panels to disrupt her. I mean, just because I make a video game does not mean my sex life is open for the public for entertainment.
The internet should be a place where we're all free to just say our opinion about a movie or a game or a book, but that's just not the way it is.
No,
it's this wild west where just these like a few crazy people just go around just harassing people.
What you have are these people, they have a playbook of going after women over and over and over again. One of the reasons why gaming is such an extreme situation as opposed to other kinds of harassment in other industries is because gamers are so technical. So I think what you have is a kind of gamification of harassment. So you have people that see it as a game. So what they have is a process of attacking and discrediting women that they know works at this point. So what is the playbook? You find a woman that you don't like what she says and you target her. So the first thing you do is start intimidating her, harassing her. You get her on public media. Twitter, you start sending her negative messages. You kind of talk on different message boards. You get other people to attack her. So the idea is it just starts with harassment, with belittling the woman, with questioning her opinion. And then if you are a real threat, it gets amplified from there. It gets to the point where you can be doxxed, meaning your private information can be sent out to people, like with what happened to us. You can go through the woman's life and start investigating her. Like what's happening to my friends right now is we actually have people in Gamergate. They're hiring private detectives to go after women that I know and to target our lives. Like this is horrible. This is deeply disturbing. So you go through the woman's life. You find stuff about her to take out of context and to attack her with. And it doesn't matter.
Or you make
who
up
you
stuff.
are. Or you just make up stuff. I've been speaking out against Gamergate for quite a while. As I said, watching my friends get targeted one by one, it's been very painful for me emotionally. So, the way these things always start is with something completely ridiculous. So, I have a fan of my podcast that sends me a picture of all these tweets I've made. They're critical of Gamergate. It's the most ridiculous things ever. Like, Gamergate fighting an apocalyptic future where women are 8% of programmers instead of 3% in the game industry. So, after I posted that image, it goes downhill really quickly. They spent 24 hours taking this image and threatening me, threatening to attack me, making fun of me, targeting me. I was so horrified because these people were going after me. And I got really angry after sleeping on it at night. And I came back and I told those people, you're not going to fucking run me out of this field that I love. And that's what I told them. And that's when I began to get targeted for real. They started researching my company. They started researching my game. They started researching my husband.
They targeted our Wikipedia pages and replaced all the text with like spurless lies about us.
What was the one thing that they did? So they got my husband's Wikipedia page Frank has a PhD in bacterial genetics.
I have 4 Hugo
You have
Awards.
4 Hugo Awards. Frank is a
I do
science
a lot of
fiction
art.
celebrity.
Yeah.
And they take Frank's Wikipedia page
Gone.
and they change it to Brianna Wu is a skank. And that's all it says. And that's...
Frank Wu. Brown
Wu
was a skank. And that's it. Everything else is gone.
Like, that's the level that they're operating on. It's just...
And you'd like to think that, oh, it's just a bunch of 10-year-olds.
No.
But it's not. I mean, these people are really sophisticated.
Yep.
They're really coordinated in their attacks. They're really dangerous. They've gone after our Apple account.
Yep.
And
They
tried
financially targeted our company, tried to destroy our product and the way that our employees are paid.
There's this message board called 8chan, which is basically people who are too extreme for this other message board called 4chan. They were kicked out of 4chan and they started their own thing. And they posted our address for everyone to see. And then minutes later, we start getting these death threats. And people are saying, oh, there's no connection. Obviously, there's a connection because it came minutes later. And they're terrifying. They say that we're not going to live to see the morning. And we call the police and we decide that it just isn't safe to be in our house anymore, which is not the way that we want to live our lives. I mean, it's a quiet Friday night. And the people that are doing this obviously have nothing better to do on a Friday night. And we're just terrified. Just constantly
How much
saying...
sleep have you lost?
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I basically am worried all the time
Yeah.
that like something really bad is going to happen to you.
Yeah, me too.
Which would be really awful.
Me too. These were the death threats that were sent to me and my husband. Bitch, shut the fuck up and get naked. I'm ostensibly going to rape you in the ass, girl. What is it like to be the ISIS of feminists? I'm going to fucking rape and kill you. Hashtag Gamergate. Let's go down to the really bad ones and read those out. Guess what, bitch? I now know where you live. You and Frank live at, and then it's my address. I've got a K-bar, and I'm coming to your house so I can shove it up your ugly feminist cunt. I'm going to rape your filthy ass until you bleed, then choke you to death on your husband's tiny Asian penis. How's that for terrifying, you stuck-up cunt? I'm sick of you fucking feminist asshats. Your mutilated
For the
corpse...
record, it's not tiny.
Okay.
I just feel like I need to defend defend myself in some little way here. Because people have been saying that, and that is unfucking acceptable. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You
Frank.
can continue.
Yeah, okay. Your mutilated
Also untrue.
Your mutilated corpse will be on the front page of Jezebel tomorrow, and there isn't jack shit you can do about it. If you have any kids, they're going to die too. I don't give a fuck. They'll grow up to be feminists anyway. I hope you enjoy your last moments alive on this earth. You did nothing worthwhile with your life. You made a shitty game nobody liked. That's it. Nobody will care when you die.
A lot of people like our game.
But it's not about the game. It's about terrorizing them. This is the thing that I did where I had to stand up and be brave, because I'd seen these people use the same playbook on my friends over and over again, and the male-dominated game press had chosen to do nothing about it. So I started getting calls from the New York Times, from The Guardian, from CNN, from MSNBC, and in the midst of being, basically threatened with murder, I kind of pulled within myself for strength and took these invites to go on these news shows because I had to get the public aware of what was happening to women in this field because game journalism didn't care.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I really am proud of you.
Too.
Well, no, I mean, because you are standing up to the Gamergaters. You're standing up to all these people that are harassing not just you, but Zoe and Anita and a bunch of other people. And you are the one that's kind of taking all of the hits.
Yeah.
Because you are speaking out about it, because other people will get death threats and then just kind of hunker down or like go into the bunker mentality, but like you're standing up and you're saying, like, no, this has got to end, and this is going to end with me, and I'm really proud of you for standing up to that.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate you standing by me while I'm getting all this nonsense. We don't talk about where we live. I can tell you it depends day to day on what has happened to us. So the truth is we look at the threats that have come in and evaluate it very coldly on a day-to-day basis. Can you imagine living your life where you can't tell people where you live or where you're going to be? It's exhausting. As far as when is this going to die down or can I get back to a normal life, I'm not sure that exists for me. I'm truly not. It's standing up has it's been a two-edged sword. I mean, I've made a lot of difference, which I'm proud of. But
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. But it's also made me a target in a way that I wasn't before. And, I expect to be a target a year from now. I expect to be a target 5 years from now. And, it's affected me. It's made me a darker person. It's made me a more paranoid person. And I don't think there's a way to get that humanity back. So I think you just...
eventually move on,
change
but like there's a scar there.
There's damage. It's damage. It's a price I wish I didn't have to pay. I mean, Frank you've been here with me over the last 2 months. I've been bitchy. I've been short-tempered. I mean,
I love you anyway.
I love you too. But how could you not go through this?
Yeah, it's been awful. It's been every day. I wake up and I look and make sure that you're still breathing.
I do the same thing.
It's like, oh my God, it's like someone sneak into our bedroom and like kill you while I was asleep.
Frank went and ran an errand yesterday.
And I didn't tell
me
you
about it, and I didn't know if you were okay.
I'm sorry. I'll tell you.
It's this paranoia, but it just eats away at your life. So.
Yeah, it's like constantly living in fear. Yeah. It's like we don't know who these people are. We go to a convention, we go to a classroom to say something, and it's like, any of these people are any of you guys the ones that have sent us death threats, or any of you guys like hiding a knife that you're gonna run up and like try and stab us? Like, we don't know.
The new reality of my life is I have to bring out private guards for when I speak at colleges. Do you realize how crazy that is for me to go speak to women that want to be computer scientists? To just say, this is what you need to have a career? And to bring out freaking security guards for that? Because it's possible they could be killed or I could be killed. And that's
insane.
It's insane. Frank is at the gym with me, and I'm working out, and Frank comes over to me, and you say, I can't watch people target my wife anymore. And you say, put $1,000 out there on the internet.
On the table.
On the table
right
for
now.
anyone giving us...
This is America. People respect money. And people are highly motivated by money. This doesn't work with, fighting terrorism and getting terrorists to turn each other in because they're not motivated by money. But America, yes. And so the idea is, this is how they caught the Unabomber.
Yep.
By putting out a bounty, and his brother-in-law turned him in.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, we'll put $1,000 on the table, and someone else.
This is the best part. This is the best part. That we have private people in the industry. They're so upset about what's happening to me that they go, hey, you want to put $1,000 on the table? We'll match that by 10 times that much. So all of a sudden we have $11,000 on the table. And I have to tell you, my death threats stopped cold the instant I did that. And the most badass I've ever felt in my whole life was someone threatened to rape me, and I just tweet back out, I'm like, $11,000 for this dude's name, and we'll take him to court. And it just stopped it dead. So the only thing that stops these people from playing their game are consequences. So, we're working to set up a legal foundation to expand this to other people.
Yeah, so if you're a Gamergater and you've told your friends or family about the shit that you've been saying about us or death threats, keep doing that.
Yeah, keep doing it.
Because probably some of them don't like you more than they like $11,000.
Yeah, I hope so.
To any of you Gamergaters that are watching this, two things. One is we're not going anywhere, and two is fuck you.